when they said it can't be done. We're on a mission to prove everybody wrong. We had a vision, now we've risen above everyone. We didn't listen when they said it can't be done. It's gonna make the papers, this shit's gonna hit the news. Cause fear don't haunt the man that's got nothing left to lose. 100 years from now, they'll still be talking, girl. Always remembering the day we rocked the world. Ooh, the day we rocked the world. Ooh, we rocked the world. Didn't have the guts. Now all the haters even made it the two of us. To be the greatest, yeah, all that you need is love. It's gonna make the papers, this shit's gonna hit the news. Cause fear don't haunt the man that's got nothing left to lose. 100 years from now, they'll still be talking, girl. Always remembering the day we rocked the world. We rocked the world.
Man, what a postseason it has been this year for MLB, especially Game 1 of the National League Championship Series last night between the Chicago Cubs and Los Angeles Dodgers. What a game it was. Every game, like the past week, has just been so intense. This was another one up there on this list. Lots of good plays, a few home runs, a lot of hype. The fans are into it, some controversial calls, and it's just been outstanding to watch. This is going to be doing a video review of last night's game where the LA Dodgers defeated the Chicago Cubs 5-2 in LA to take Game 1 and a 1-0 series lead in the American League or the National League Championship Series. So, this is Baseball Galaxy doing my review, and we're going to get into some game discussion. We're going to start off with the box scores. We're going to roll the clip. I will show you the Dodgers box score first. There it is. So, if we look at some notables on the Dodgers box score, obviously the leadoff hitter and center fielder, who was converted from an infielder back, he came up with Seattle, is Chris Taylor, who has just burst on the seams and become a stud this season with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He went 2 for 4 last night, including a solo home run that put the Dodgers out in front and gave them the lead for good in the 6th inning. That was a big shot for Chris Taylor, and he kept it going with a big hit there. We also see Justin Turner. He had a hit, which was an RBI hit, and that was a controversial play. We'll get into that a bit later. And the biggest guy on the Dodgers box score, in my opinion, who is just, I love watching him play. I like his mindset. I like him as a player. A lot of people don't because they say he disrespects the game. Maybe he does sometimes. I agree with that. But this guy's just so fun to watch, and that's Yasiel Puig, number 66. Came over from Cuba. Thought he was going to be a superstar. Kind of played like a superstar when he first got here, then kind of tailed off. And he has the potential to go back to that superstar rate the way he's looking in the postseason right now. He went 2 for 4 yesterday in last night's game. 2 RBIs, including a huge home run. This was following Chris Taylor's home run in the 7th. Taylor hit his dinger in the 6th. Puig hit his in the 7th. And this gave the Dodgers a 4-2 lead, which would soon turn into a 5-2 victory. Puig had 2 RBIs on the night. One was on a double, one was on the home run. I loved watching him flip his bat in the air, and it didn't even leave the park. That was pretty funny, but still, he has one of the best bat flips in the game. If you didn't see his tweet after the game, he actually tweeted, "Why are my bats so slippery?" with a picture of him throwing his bat in the air. So that was funny. I found that real funny. And also, Charlie Culberson, who is the backup shortstop for Corey Seager, who is not placed on the NLCS roster due to injuring his back in Game 3. We'll get into that later, but Culberson went 1 for 2, and he also had a sac fly, which was enough to solidify the Dodgers in a big game, and yeah. So we're going to move on and take a look at the Chicago Cubs box score. They had an early lead, and all their offense came from one guy, and this was a young, athletic guy I like a lot. I think he could be a star breakout next year, and that's Albert Almora Jr., great defensively. I think he could hit 15 to 20 home runs a year and bat 285, steal some bags. He had a 2-run home run last night off Clayton Kershaw in the top of the 4th inning, and that jumped out and put the Cubs on the board 2-0, but obviously that would not hold up, so he did go 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a home run. All right, that's enough with the box scores. We're going to talk about our pitchers from the game last night now. Taking a look at Dodgers starter, the best pitcher on the planet, not so much in the playoffs, but we're going to take a look and focus on Clayton Kershaw's outing last night. He did not do a bad job. He did not do a great job either, however. I wouldn't say... 5 innings pitched, he went, allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 4 strikeouts. I think what makes it not as good of a start is he wasn't able to really work late into the game and give the Dodgers innings. That would not matter as their bullpen was great. I'll get into that in a second. I would have liked to see him go 6 or 7 is what I'm saying, and he didn't have that much in him. He still only allowed 2 runs. His team got the win, so I'm not gonna hate on him too much, but in the future, they might need him to do better than that if they really want to go and win this World Series here and bring another crown back here to LA. They haven't gotten one since the 80s. So now we're going to talk about the bullpen. Kenta Maeda, Brandon Morrow, and Tony Watson. Was it Tony Watson? Yeah, Tony Watson, and then Kensley Jansen. I believe Tony Cingrani was also in there too. All 5 of those pitchers combined to throw 4 shutout innings, including 4 out saves for Kenley Jansen, and he went on to strike out all 4 batters, so he looked on point. Kenley Jansen, you can always count on him to get the job done in clutch and tight situations, and he did. Alright, with that being said, we're going to take a look at Jose Quintana's line from the Cubs. He had a very similar line to Kershaw. He went 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs. He walked a couple, and he struck out 4. Not much to say there. I didn't expect much more from him. Obviously, everyone back when he was with the White Sox before the trade a couple years ago, he was looked at as some stud pitcher. I really don't see him as a stud pitcher. I see him as a quality number 3 or number 4 pitcher, similar to Sonny Gray's career so far with the Yankees. That's how I see Jose Quintana. All right. Let's get in, we talked about Albert Almora's 2-run shot in the 4th. That put the Cubs in front. That was the first runs put on the board in this one. Now we're going to get into more scoring and talk about how the Dodgers scored their runs. We're going to talk about Yasiel Puig, getting back into him. He doubled in the 5th following the 4th inning, and he got Dodgers fans happy because he made it a 1-run game. So he hit this ball out to the left center field gap. He thought for sure it was gone because he just flipped that bat in the air and he let it fly. He's like looking like to jog around the bases. Then he goes, oh shit, this thing did not leave the park. So he's still rounding around the bases and he gets to second. But he's still pumped up. And he tries to pump up the crowd. He's out there pounding on his chest, lifting his arms in the air, saying, let's go, trying to get the crowd into it. And boy, did he get the crowd into it. Because the following inning, in the 6th, Chris Taylor, my bad. We talked about him. He hit a solo shot to right field, an opposite field blast, and that put the Dodgers fans who bleed blue, they started bleeding blue, man, because absolutely the energy, when that ball left the park, the game was tied, and holy moly, this place was out. Like, it looked like it was about to burst in the seams, Dodger Stadium. And then, if that's not enough for you, Charlie Culberson hit a sac fly, same inning, and gave the Dodgers a 3-2 lead. Following the inning, back in the Puig, he's definitely the player of this game. He could be a potential MVP of the series if the Dodgers go on the win and he keeps it up, because he hit a home run in the 7th to extend the lead to a 4-2 game. And the Dodgers fan liked to see that. This thing was a wall scraper. I thought for sure Kyle Schwarber was going to make a catch. He didn't even try to jump, though. Kyle Schwarber's just not a good outfielder. He came up as a catcher. But holy moly, man. Puig hit it out. He started around the bases, flipped his hand in the air, kind of flipped the bat away. He didn't throw it up like he did following. I think he learned from his mistake. Maybe I shouldn't throw it up in the air unless it's a no-doubter, but still, the tweet I talked about after the game, just fucking hilarious. And then, alright, we're going to talk about the controversial play. There has to be one of these in every playoff game, doesn't there? Charlie Culberson, the backup to Corey Seager, he was coming around third on a Justin Turner single. Kyle Schwarber came up gunning to the plate, and Charlie Culberson on a close play was called out. And Dave Roberts did not like this call because the Cubs catcher Wilson Contreras reportedly had his leg out blocking the plate, and that did violate MLB's rules. MLB's rules do say you can only block the plate if you're going to catch the ball and the trajectory of the throw and the angle of the throw is going in that direction. But the umpires took a second look at this, and the man in blue, he overturned the call, and that would put Charlie Culberson safe at home and make it a 5-2 game. The Cubs were not happy. Joe Madden came out cursing out the home plate umpire. He got tossed, and that kind of just everything spiraled out of control for the Cubs there, as 5-2 would go on to be the final score, and the Dodgers would win Game 1 of the National League Championship Series, and they're ready for Game 2. We're also going to talk about Corey Seager and the Dodgers' decision not to put him on the National League Championship Series roster. And it's not like they can activate him tomorrow. He cannot play for the whole series. So if he wants to play again, the Dodgers are going to have to make it to the World Series. He had a slight injury to his back in Game 3 of the National League Division Series against Arizona. He reportedly injured his back there, and they decided to keep him off. They decided it was better for him. They didn't want to risk anything further. And we'll see if the Dodgers can win without him. They still got some guys like Bellinger, Chris Taylor, Justin Turner, and Yasiel Puig. They're getting it done, so we'll see if the pitching can carry him too. And now we're going to talk about our Game 2 preview. Game 2 will be tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. No, my bad, 7:30 p.m., I believe, on TBS. And 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern times, I should say, for all of you living out on the West Coast or in Central Time. So that's that. My prediction for Game 2, I am going with the Dodgers again. I think it's going to be another close, thrilling game. I think they will win 5-4 and take a 2-0 series lead before headed to Chicago, out to Wrigley. And boy, they're going to need it because the atmosphere at Wrigley is absolutely crazy. So that's really it. That is my review, guys, for Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please leave a like and please subscribe. As always, tell a friend about this video. I like baseball. I said it in yesterday's video. I'm posting consistently now, doing reviews for every game. I'll have American League Championship Series Game 2 review coming up later on my channel. So please watch that if you want to. If you like baseball, stay tuned. We got a bunch of shit coming out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.